Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. And today's episode of Healing Conversations is with a wonderful communication trainer, Sunidhi Biswas. And she is the founder of PowerTalk. She has been working with prestigious names like Dale Carnegie and Enthusiastic. And her experience is very enriching in this particular field of being a lead trainer. So, welcome, Sunidhi, and please tell us a little more about what Power Talk does and what do you do as a trainer.
So it's very simple, Rutuja. You see that all of us, we are unique individuals. We have things that set us apart from others that make us special when compared to others. But often in communication, we miss out chances due to self doubt, hesitations. So Power Talk was built so that people can come together under one banner and have that power behind their talk so that there is never any missed chance, never the what if scenario stopping you from reaching your dreams.
This is absolutely wonderful. And here I would like to understand little bit, what goes into the background and why is communication so important and why do people need to take conscious effort to improve their communication skills. So where does this power element come from in an individual's personality or in the communication?
So the power element when we talk about it, it's basically you at your most real core.
Wow.
When there are no filters or no obstacles or barriers stopping you from saying what you want to say. All the communication trainers, we have spoken about listening skills and we always talk about barriers. Now, these barriers are there in any kind of conversation that you are doing with anybody. Because at the core, you are two different people. You have different understanding, different thoughts, different ways of interpreting things. And that is where the message being sent is not received the same way.
Exactly.
And therein lies the problem. So, once you have the power, once you are able to communicate exactly what you want to communicate, no problem, no misunderstanding will ever exist again. And
Yeah.
that is where the power lies of knowing that I can communicate what I want to communicate with no fear of misunderstanding ever.
Yeah, because being a life coach, when I inquire into people's fear and what they feel about stage presence or speaking in front of people or giving even a presentation, they feel that they have to become like somebody else to become excellent communicators. Or this excuse will always come out, oh, I'm an introvert. How do I get good at communication skills? So, what is the message you have for introverts, especially people who call themselves as introverts, and what they can do to improve their communication skills?
Well, fun fact, I am an introvert. I am a very introverted person. But it has never stopped me from communicating. From going up to people and introducing myself, yes, because I'm also a bit shy, but never in communicating. Because an introvert is somebody who regains their energy by themselves. Staying around people is like a drain in their energy, but it doesn't stop you from talking to people. So people who are introverts and think that it is stopping them, first step, they will have to get over this mentality and tell themselves, yes, I'm an introvert, but it's not a burden, it's not a flaw, it's just who I am. Introverts actually do much better when they're talking to people one on one. So, an
Yes.
introvert going up to a group and talking, and an introvert going up to one person and talking, the one person will be much easier to communicate with. So, they can start off that way. And instead of looking at a group as, oh my god, so many people I have to talk to, look at one person and talk, look at the second person and talk. One at a time, take each of it as one conversation each. That will make it much easier.
Wow, this is a wonderful tip. I have one of my friend who asked me this question that when I am on stage, whom should I really look at? And I had no answer at that point of time. So this is a wonderful tip, that when you're presenting to multiple people, you can take it one conversation at a time. So where did your interest in communication skills or in business communication come from? What was the story behind that?
That's a very big answer. So I'll start from the beginning.
Yes.
See, I was always a student who was very good in English. From absolute tiny tot age, I was very interested in English because I would be listening to nursery rhymes, listening to stories, listening to this, listening to that, everything in English. And my parents also got me into the habit of reading books English. So I was surrounded by English and I made it my home. And as I grew up, this much exposure to English made my own English skills much more advanced. So I would always be complimented in this and praised in that. So I kept on polishing it. Eventually, it came to a time that I would be able to effortlessly communicate in English compared to any other language, secondary languages that I was learning. Not my mother tongue, of course, that's unparalleled, but the other languages I was much more comfortable in English. So I figured out, okay, why not put it to use? So I started teaching little kids about English and their how to improve their English. And from there, I saw that I was able to help them. Okay, let us continue. And then people started noticing and they were like, oh, can you help me make my English better? I'm not getting a job. Can you make my English better? I need to go for an interview for my child's school. And these kind of tasks started coming all local. Then came a time after doing this that I started getting these kind of requests, but internationally. I remember the first request, it was from Sri Lanka. Then came from Dubai, then USA, then UK. And I was a bit baffled, like, okay, you are asking me, but all right, I can do it. I'll tell you how to. And it went on and on until I felt that I was already doing some full time jobs. But those were not as rewarding as seeing somebody transform in my sessions.
Yes, that's wonderful.
So I decided, okay, maybe I should study in this field. So I went ahead, got some certifications, made this official, and I ended up working with some pretty big names in the industry. And I found my forte and my home in communication skills.
Congratulations on that. I mean, there are so many people who step into the industry of soft skills and communication skills training, and there are only few who land up working with actually big names and having big opportunities. And I see how you've built it up from the very foundation, where you were okay teaching kids, where you were loving what you were doing, and then eventually you've become this international lead communication skills trainer, which is wonderful, and I am absolutely very happy about that. So I wanted to understand, like, what is the role of communication in our day-to-day life, and how does that help you to improve the quality of your life in general?
Let me ask you a question. Can you live a day without saying a single word, without giving any expression or gesture?
No, not at all. I'm very talkative person. I can't do that.
Even if you are not talkative, you find something disappointing, you will frown. You cannot completely go blank. And
Exactly.
every single gesture, expression, word is communication. So, communication is such an intrinsic part of our day to day life that we cannot be without it. And nowadays, communication is even more important because most of our communication has moved to online.
Yes.
If not online, then people, where one half of the conversation is distracted by something online while the other half is talking. A very common scene. So it leads to a lot of misunderstandings. Like it might not be a major misunderstanding that people are falling out, but something that is leading to resentment being built.
That's true.
So therein lies the problem that we need to fix that.
Yeah.
People have to take the initiative and try to fix their communication skills. If not to improve, at least to maintain the relationships they already have in their life,
Yes.
be it personal, be it professional.
Yes, for relationships to flourish and you to feel actually at home with your relationships, communication is so important. I mean, we are stuck with that resentment and ideas in our head, and if you can just speak it out properly, people always feel that, okay, I don't want to hurt the person, but I want to put it across. So, how do I put it? So, therein, a communication expert can really help you out with what are the correct choice of words, how do you explain the intent, how your gestures matter, and they are very small things but they make a huge difference. That's what I feel about it. So my next
Yeah.
question to you is that your expertise lies in business communication, right? So how is that different, and why should one really invest their time and learning, especially business communication? How does that help them in the career?
Okay, so what happens is that, excuse me, sorry,
Bless you.
I don't know when I caught a cold today, but anyway, talking about business communication and normal communication, when you are in office, you're bound by a set of rules. There is a clear hierarchy there, right? So oftentimes what it does is that it changes the way you think, or it affects the way you think. Some people, they feel so dominated by their superiors that they suppress their personality,
Yes.
and that leads to misunderstanding. Some people are just pessimists by nature, and that affects their relationship with others. Some people are too optimistic, that affects their relationship with others. Because you see, in an organization, everybody has to move in a structured manner.
Yes.
At home, you can move wherever you want, but the organization is like a chessboard. You have fixed places you can go to. So, at that place, if your communication is not up to the mark, you're not able to clearly communicate, there will be problems. Oftentimes, what happens is those resentments build and it end up coming out as aggressive or passive aggressive, which is not really recommended. People have to learn how to be assertive in business settings.
Yes.
That is, you have to be polite about telling something and also actually clearly communicate the thing. So if they
Yes.
don't do it, it can lead to lots of problems, like some kind of salesperson losing a client, somebody not able to ask for the promotion that they really deserve, somebody not able to, some boss not able to handle all his employees because the employees feel like he's dominating them, not caring about them, but actually the boss is caring. So at that moment, if the communication paths are cleared and communication is flowing clearly, every problem will be solved.
Yes. So when I look at some of the workplace scenarios where one person's communication matters a lot, it even starts with a supervisor delegating tasks clearly to people, especially when they are technical tasks, they have to be communicated in a certain way. And when you are giving interviews for your internal job moments, even if you are in the same company, right, and you are giving these interviews, it matters a lot to actually put the best foot forward and to be very very clear when you're speaking, because it makes a huge difference in what you bring to the table. So that was about business communication and the workplace scenarios. I personally encourage people, especially who want to climb up the corporate ladder or are having their own business and wish to enhance their personality. The first skill that I will urge people to invest in is their communication skills. And Sunidhi, do you have any parting thoughts for our viewers?
My parting thoughts for the viewers is that don't get stuck in regrets. If you feel like you can improve your communication skills, you can make a change, and it will improve your life, take the leap of faith. It's just one step, and you never know how much rewarding it will be when it actually happens. So
Yes.
don't get stuck thinking, what if 20 years from now? Work on it, fix it now while you still can.
Yes. Now is the right time. to work on it. And whenever a person is committed to improving themselves in any area of their life, and if their involvement is complete, there is a lot of satisfaction that any teacher will guarantee. And we love those kind of people who come to us for learning with that kind of attitude. So all the details to reach out to Sunidhi and Power Talks website will be given in the description. You can obviously check Power Talk, and you can find out more about Sunidhi. She's a very interesting personality, a great trainer to talk to, and a very good friend to be with. Sunidhi, we hope to listen more from you. So, if any one of you has any questions related to communication, leave them in the comments, and we will have Sunidhi again with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.